God bless you, brothers and sisters. I want to share my testimony. What happened after? What happened after I got saved? Okay. I want to talk about what happened after. What happened after I got saved? Okay. God delivered me of drugs. God delivered me of alcohol. I was addicted to marijuana and alcohol for many years. I grew marijuana. I was selling marijuana illegally, and I repented of that. And God delivered me of that lifestyle of smoking so much marijuana and destroying my life and ruining my life. But I want to show what happened. So when I got saved, God delivered me immediately. I mean, literally the moment I got saved, I went 100% sober. And I was not working at the time. I was still working on getting my emotional state and my mental state and getting my life together emotionally. And God started working in my life, and I started to become more social, just a better and nicer person, more relatable person. I wasn't always smoking weed before I did every little thing. But then some time had passed by, about a year, and I started working for this company selling fruits and vegetables. So at this time, I was selling fruits and vegetables. I was around a lot of people that drank alcohol and a lot of people that smoked marijuana. They never drug tested us in that company. And I started hanging out with those people a lot, maybe more than I should have. I should have avoided them. But like I said, I'm 1 year Christian. I was only born again for 1 year. So although I was reading my Bible by myself, I did not really go to church very much, and I didn't have a Bible study. I didn't have a mentor. I was like a lone wolf. And next thing you know, I started drinking alcohol again. Low key, without anybody knowing, just going to the liquor store and drinking alcohol. I didn't want to smoke marijuana because people were going to smell the marijuana on me, and I didn't want to let them down, or I didn't want them to find out that I was smoking weed. So I was drinking alcohol. But soon enough, we went to a few parties and people were smoking marijuana, so I started smoking weed with them, with my coworkers. So I was now drinking and smoking marijuana again on a regular basis. And I felt so disappointed and so ashamed and just so sad that this was the lifestyle I was getting back into and getting addicted into again. So I just prayed to God and said, God, I just pray you would deliver me and take away this sensation of me wanting to drink again and me wanting to smoke weed again. So as I'm reading the Bible, it's like God was speaking to me as I was reading the book of Isaiah and other books, and God said, go into the mountains, go into the mountains. So I started getting deep prayer, and some radical things were coming into my life, about to come to be, and I wanted to resist it. And God said, quit your job, sell all that you have, and get out of California. So I said, what? How could I do such a radical thing like that? But God over and over spoke to my spirit and said, sell all that you have and leave California. So I hitchhiked. I sold everything that I had. I had a good job working before the farm, I was making about 4K a month, and I was making a lot of money, but I was spending it all foolishly on drugs and alcohol and many other things that I'm not happy with. Okay, but God had told me to sell everything. So what did I do? I sold everything. Everything. And when I sold everything, I had a Range Rover, I had a lot of electronics, I had a lot of possessional materialistic things that I did not really care too much for. I sold my GoPro. I sold everything. And I hitchhiked from California all the way to Utah. And I was in Utah for I think a month. I believe it was 1 month, about 30 days. And while I was there, I had no job, I had no apartment, I had no house, I had nothing. All I had was camping gear, a few pair of shirts, a few pair of pants, a few pair of underwears. I really just had enough stuff to fit into a camping backpack. And my dog. So I was homeless. My first night there was a huge storm, and I hid under a baseball dugout, and I was very afraid, and I felt like people were going to attack me in the night. And it was a weird feeling, that I was homeless and I didn't have a place to stay, but I was in prayer all day long. I had a lot of time to think about my life and what I wanted to do with my life, and I prayed a lot and I thought a lot, and I saw how people acted because I had all day to think. So I just sat down and saw people passing by and how people would treat me and how people would trick me and how people would hurt my feelings, and it was very painful to go through it. But I went through it. I went through it, and I had people throw rocks at my camp. I had people tell me, why don't I get a job, which I was trying my best to get a job. I was on Craigslist every day trying to find work, but I was not able to find a job. And it was a very challenging time for me in my life. So I'm in Utah, and there was a lot of Mormons trying to convince me to be Mormon. And they said, you need to stop preaching this around here. You need to be a Mormon. So many things happened while I was there. But I'm almost at work, so I want to end this story. I was right about to head into northern Utah, Salt Lake City. And I found a famous hitchhiking spot. And a lot of people would pick up hitchhikers. And it was usually a one-way trip to help me get there. Now when I did that, I prayed that morning what I wanted to eat. I went to the grocery store and I stood outside so I could ask for money where people could fill me what I wanted to eat. And I said, I can't. She told me there was a storm, a very bad storm in Salt Lake City area. Could have easily have died trying to get out there. The next few days, I got one trip. Once I made it back into California, so God changed my life even more. Been sober now, I believe, and with marijuana, I think over 3 years, 3.5, I think about 4 or 5 years. Glory to God. My Wi-Fi's acting up around here.